Hi, I'm Rebecca. This is my tiny home. I call her Teeny, so you can find me on Instagram at TeenyTiny7. And I've been here and living in the tiny house full time since October of 2020. So I've only been here a couple months, but I'm absolutely loving it. So I'd love to show you inside. Welcome inside. This is the living room area. I've seen a lot of people who have this specific couch that live in tiny homes, but it's great because it will pull out into like a bed, or even if you just wanted to lounge on it like that, it has that option, which is really, really great. People are always like, oh, love your couch. And then there's also storage underneath that I can put blankets or games I have in there right now. But that's always really helpful because everyone knows if you live in a tiny, you need a lot of places for storage. So that's been great. Also, the coffee table is a lift top, so there's storage inside there as well. So use it also for watching TV, we're watching movies. You just pull that over and you can also eat on there too. So that's been great. And then we just push it over there so we can have more room. I love plants, so I have kind of like some over here. This is the cat corner for my cat. She has her water and her food bowl. And yeah, I've had quite a few people in here just hanging out in the living room. So I do use this space a lot. I love to be down here to read, drink coffee, watch TV. It's kind of like the place that I actually eat my dinner. I originally thought I was going to be eating a lot over here. I have this table that lifts up. So it goes, I think, from 16 inches to 55 inches when both sides are up. But it just comes out. So this is another place to eat dinner. And I can also move it over here and I can seat 6 at this table. So that's also a really great option. Something I love in this space is how big the windows are. It lets in so much sunlight and it just makes the space feel really bigger. It brings the outside inside. I'm so glad I went with these windows. The builders I went with, Mini Mansions, Tiny Home Builders, they already had these in the builds. So I kind of took a build that they had and I changed a whole bunch of stuff. Like I self-designed everything and I measured things out. But these windows is something they already had and I love them. So I'm like, yes, let's keep the big windows. In the beginning when I moved in, I didn't have any window treatments. So I felt like I was a little bit in the fishbowl. I was like, oh my gosh, like everyone can see me. It was really weird at night. So I have these super cool blinds that just can go wherever I want them to. So that's really great for privacy. I like that they're white and light again, so it doesn't close in the space. But when I want them to, they just close or open up and you can barely even tell that they're there. So I have those on both windows and I love those. So going tiny, I had a pretty traumatic personal experience early 2020, right before COVID really affected the US. And it was a time period where I'd always kind of wanted to go tiny. I would watch all the tiny videos and shows and YouTube. And it was just always something so fascinating to me. I always wanted to do it, but never really had the push, the motivation. So that happened, and after that, I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, there's nothing I can lose. I'm diving in. And I actually started speaking to the builders April of 2020, and I had to create all the blueprint and all the designs and measurements, and then they started building June. They got the trailer and started building in June, and it was delivered October 18th. So this is my kitchen, and the kitchen and the stairs are like my babies of the build. So actually, I was in my parents' house before this, and The stairs, I had to take a wall inside their house and I totally like measured everything. I taped it off. I looked at how big the countertops or how tall they were gonna be. And I mapped everything out on the wall. And originally the kitchen was supposed to be here in the build that they had, and they didn't have stairs in the build. They just had a ladder going up on this side. So I completely changed everything around and I had to do all the measurements for the stairs and exactly how big I wanted them, and the pantry. The pantry is really nice. I have a pull-out pantry. So I have so much storage in here, which I love. I'm so glad that I asked for this because it's been a great addition and just it's been perfect to store food there. So also with the stairs, I had to I already had this microwave, so it's specially measured for that so that it would slide in there, and that's been perfect to have the little microwave here. I also have an apartment size refrigerator and freezer, so the freezer's small but it's perfect. I feel like it's enough space, and then I can fit a whole bunch of food and stuff in here, so that's been really good as well. And also because of the wheel wells coming into the tiny, the refrigerator had to be put up because the wheel well comes in and the refrigerator would stick out really far. So we had to build on top of the wheel well, so there's all this extra space underneath. So they actually did that, and I'm able to fit shoes I don't wear that often, or this is my beach nook, because right now we're in winter, so I haven't been to the beach in a while. But I have all my beach things there and some tools actually, and shoes. I have clothes in these drawers and just reusable things here. So it's my kitchen. Also I have clothes here, so there's a whole bunch. Also, because I knew I was gonna be living with my cat, this is a custom cat box. So it still looks pretty. And the top lifts off and I have everything in there for her. So that was perfect too, to kind of have that as the first step. I also measured it so that it was chair height, so that someone can sit here, and then it's the exact height you would need to sit at a table. So there's a lot of thought that went into these stairs. I love them. I wouldn't change anything about the stairs. I also included this area that it slides out. And I have a stool under here. I have another stool in the secondary loft, so it can also be a place where I read or eat, drink coffee. I haven't used this space too much, but when I am cooking a lot of food, I'll pull this out for some extra countertop space. So again, I love that. And in the kitchen, I love to cook, so I spend a lot of time here. I have a really big sink, which is great because I do a lot of dishes. There's no dishwasher in this build, so a lot of it is hand washing dishes, which I don't mind. I wouldn't have changed that. It's perfect for me. I know some people absolutely hate dishes, but this has been great for me. Again, I changed the window. It was gonna be, I think, the same width, but it was gonna be much shorter. So this is a much bigger window. All my spices, all my pots and pans are in here, cleaning supplies. I also have a pull-out trash can, which is really nice. That's not something they had in the original build, but I highly recommend that, especially if you have pets or animals. Because my cat will definitely tear in the trash. She would if it was out. So that's been perfect. I have just so much storage for everything that I need. And then open shelving. So again, I did all of the kitchen as well. I looked at all the different cabinets and how I wanted it and how big. The kitchen is much, much bigger than they had in the original build, but again, that was really important for me. It was super important for me to have a water filter. I didn't want to have to rely on getting plastic water bottles, and I try to be environmentally conscious when I can be, so I'm I do not want to do that or rely on that. It was really important for me to put a water filtration system. So this is a reverse osmosis water filtration system, and it's been wonderful. So I don't have to rely on plastic or going and buying things. It filters it all for me under the sink. Another thing that I decided to add that they didn't have already was a garbage disposal. just because I didn't want to have issues with that if food got down there. So those are two things that I added to the sink that I'm so happy I did. I know they have like Berkeley's, I think those are like on the countertop, but I wanted to save space on the countertops. So reverse osmosis water filtration system. This is all propane run, the stove and the oven. So I have the tank out back and it just hooks up here. Here, the closet space has been amazing. Like, I haven't seen a lot of tinies with a full closet, but it's been perfect. Someone bought me this shoe rack. So I put shoes in there and like other little things, command strips and electronics and everything that I would need, so that stores away super easily. I have my mop and my vacuum in here. They also put an outlet, so I'm able to charge the vacuum. And then all my clothes, I have this, more clothes over here. There's a shelf up there, so like my yoga mat, like everything I could need, and I still have like so much room. Like I could scoot things over. Yeah, storage in this tiny, in this build, I'm very, very proud of. The transition from not being tiny to living tiny, I had a couple months to prepare. I was originally at my parents' house and I went from, I think, 2 dressers and 3 closets to here. So it was a lot of downsizing clothes, but because I'd never lived on my own, a lot of things like kitchen things, pots, pans, all of that, I was able to slowly accumulate and get exactly what I wanted that were space conscientious. And so the transition was way easier than I thought. Like I pared down clothes and shoes and things, and I moved in here, and even after I moved in, I did another downsizing where I had room for everything, but I just realized I didn't need it. And like the more I let go of things, the happier I feel. So this is the bathroom. It has the sliding door, which is really great for privacy, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. In the original build, they had the 20-gallon water heater here, and then the washer dryer combo that you see, and a ton of tinies on top of that. But I was able to have the stackable, and I'm really, really happy with it. It's like very small, but it makes me do laundry more often, which you would do in any tiny, but I'm really happy with how the stackable works. So I'm very happy that's there. And here I have a flushing toilet. It's been perfect for me. I know a lot of people don't, but this has been perfect. It hooks up to sewage, and I mean, it's really worked out for me. And then here I have a lot of extra storage. I have like cleaning supplies and things under here. And then the 3 drawers. Also, I have things in there. So again, like there's just so much storage in this build, which has been great because I mean, I want to be here long term, and I'm living here full time. So it's been perfect. And here also, I have a tub. So if I ever, it's like a smaller, but again, I'm not a super big person, so it works for me. I have the shower hookup, and again, I can take baths if I want to, so I'm super excited I went with this, and it's just been perfect. Originally, I didn't know how to hang up towels in the build. I'm like, where do I hang up a towel? So we had to put in the hooks here, and then just towels can hang when we're not using it, which it's like those tiny little things you're like, we don't have a space, where do I hang a towel? So those hooks have been perfect, and they hang there to dry. And on the other side of the bathroom, again with this storage, I have this entire closet here. So I have a laundry basket. I put dirty laundry. I have more clothes, makeup, towels, toilet paper, lotion, things like that. So again, there's just so much storage that I'm so happy that I went with. And then I have a full-length mirror here if I ever want to see the entire outfit, because again, I'm just like that, I don't know. So I watched a lot of videos on minimalism too. That's something that's always fascinated me. And I would watch like YouTube videos and podcasts, and I really wanted to adopt that lifestyle. So going tiny was the perfect transition into that, where I have what I need, but I don't just buy because I'm bored or I'm going on a shopping spree. I have what I have, and I'm trying to live more minimally and more economically conscientious. And it's been a pretty easy transition. It was like a new page, a new start. So I've really enjoyed being here. It wasn't a super difficult transition. And then this is the loft. This is where I sleep. It's 11 feet long, so there's quite a bit of space up here. Again, like I can sit on the bed and it's not like I'm banging my head on the roof, so I feel like there's a lot of space up here. This is a queen size bed I have in the loft, and it's worked out fine. I could fit a king if I wanted to, but I don't really need that. So the windows here, this one's like a little bit wonky, but we have windows up here, which is really great. Again, it lets in light and it makes the space feel more open and bigger than it actually is. I have a whiteboard hanging up here to draw things on or write reminders, anything like that. There's also baskets on either side, so it keeps things tidy and nice. And this is the bedroom. I plan on living tiny as long as possible. I absolutely love it. I don't know if I were to have kids in the future, if this would be the right build for that, just because of the spaces and the loft being upstairs. But I've loved living tiny. It's less to take care of and clean. Yes, it can get dirty fast, but it's super easy to pick up and clean up. I can see myself living tiny for a very, very, very long time. This is a secondary loft. I originally wanted it to be for guests. If they came over, they'd have a bed to sleep on. But I joke around because it's really her loft. She's up here all the time, so it's really my cat's loft. It's Peach's loft and her bed. But this is a space I might change it into something later. It could be for storage, so I'm happy with how this turned out too. It's exactly measured to fit a twin XL or a queen or a full. So again, it has the windows, which I'm really happy about. Lets in light. And this is my Mitsubishi mini split. So all the cool air, all the heat when it's cold outside, it all comes from here. This has worked really, really well. Something I didn't really know is just how humid the tiny would get. I'm like, why is it so humid in here? I have a humidity reader, and like sometimes it's like 80% humidity, and I'm like, I know I'm in Florida, but this is a little high, especially for inside. All my plants love it, but whenever it's nice weather outside and it's cooler out, we open up the windows. But I was told that because it's a brand new build and they used fresh wood, that the wood emits a lot of humidity, especially in the beginning. So I guess that's one reason it could be so humid in here. Also, I'm in Florida, so I'm used to it. But so the humidity can be high, but also this has a dehumidifying mode to it. It just usually gets freezing cold when it's on. But again, I'm really happy with it. In August of 2020, I actually graduated with my master's degree in social work. My bachelor's degree is in early childhood. And with my master's, I also got certifications in play therapy and marriage and family therapy. So in the future, I would like to potentially use that. I love kids. I want to work with them. I'm actually a nanny right now. Part-time. I just switched to part-time because she just started kindergarten. She's so big and beautiful. I've been with her and her family since she was 20 months old. She's now 6. So I absolutely love doing that. Like, it just makes my heart so full and so happy. So I'm doing that currently, and it's part-time, and again, it pays the bills. It's been wonderful. I love doing that. And then in the future, I might work in the field of social work, but right now I'm really taking the time to ground myself and to relax and just take the space to really just be at peace. And this is my happy place, and I feel so at peace here. So it's been such a blessing. So this is the outside area. Originally for a couple months, I just had cinder blocks on the ground that you had to like step up and do a huge step into the tiny. But my significant other actually built these stairs for me. I knew exactly what I wanted with the wraparounds and measured it out again, and he built them basically, and then I stained them. So I love how these turned out. And then also the matching planter. This was also built for the build. I wanted to have a lot of greenery. I love plants. I love them indoors and outdoors. I just feel like it really makes a home for me. So this is bamboo, and it'll hopefully grow really tall. It's one area in the tiny that it could grow really tall and it wouldn't really block a window or be too intrusive. So again, I love how they match. It looks nice. I also have herbs growing over here and vegetables. So I have like cilantro, jalapeno, oregano, basil, kale, and carrots. So this has been really great. I love having this little planter. Again, my significant other built this as well. So it's held up really well, and I love having it here. This is the front area of the build. So again, if you were to walk right inside, this would be my living room. And I have a couple of plants out here. Here's the Mitsubishi mini split. And again, just the hitches right here. So it came with just, I think it was a 350 truck. But if I ever wanted to move it, I would just hook it up there. Also the build is lower to the ground than most builds. So once it was delivered, the plumbing underneath and connecting had to go in after. So it got delivered, the plumbing had to go all in. So if I ever did want to move it, the plumbing would have to come out and be detached before it could be moved because it's so low to the ground. So this isn't necessarily a travel friendly tiny, but I knew that I wanted it to be in a certain area for a couple years. I want to be here for a couple years. Eventually save up enough money to buy my own land. I would love to park it on a big piece of land. That's like the dream, the goal for the future. But again, it's not really travel friendly, so I would have to take that out. But hopefully once I move it to the next place, it'll be there for a very long time. So again, I have a lot of outdoor plants. These are plants that usually don't do well inside or need more sun or more humidity. So these are out here. And I have my bigger plants. This is actually new. This is Confederate jasmine that I'm hoping will vine upwards, and in the spring they bloom white flowers that are super pretty and they smell so good. So I'm excited for springtime in Florida, and hopefully they'll just grow. Again, I love this space. I have the patio furniture. I can hang out here, drink coffee or tea. And I have a lot of my plants here too, so it's just something that's very peaceful to me. I love this space as well. When it's good weather here, I like hanging out here with friends or my significant other. It's just been really nice to have. And then something that I also added to the build that I thought was really important was the outdoor shed. And this keeps my tankless propane water heater. Again, that needs to be outside. That was not going to be something that was inside. Right now I have a 40-gallon, which it lasts me so long. I can probably go close to 2 months just on this, and propane is fairly inexpensive, so my costs are very low, which I like. It's been great, and they both work really well. If you'd like to follow along with my tiny journey, again, I started my Instagram page before it even started being built. So if you scroll back, you can see like the progression of everything happening and just the walls going up. Or if you want to see what's happening in the future, you can follow me on Instagram at teeny tiny7. And yeah, thanks for having me.